Alright, well, I don't have a co-caster yet, apparently. So, hello. Welcome to the Mirror Solo Cast special. This is Neon Division Week 6. We've got Rodham Harvest taking on OME Ascension. Should be a banger, as Rodham trying to complete the OME Infinity Gauntlet and beat their third OME team in almost as many weeks. Yeah, there's some bands on the screen. Orn, Twitch, Diana, Trundle, Seraphine, and Nico. Not going to be played this evening. And Caitlyn will be the first pick for OME. Not a whole lot shown. Kind of the new de facto top 80 carry after Jinx has been nerfed a little bit. My co-caster is stuck in a Windows update. He'll be here in a second. Alright, well, that's good news because I didn't want to solo cast the whole night. So, Jarvan and Tristana going to be the lock-in for ROTM. This feels very according to plan. Jarvan just kind of a generic all-around good jungler, kind of the types that Scram seems to default to. Tristana, a good pick for Duvranga, especially given the Caitlyn and Twitch not available. Now OME going to be able to counter Xin Zhao, a pretty classic matchup into Jarvan. Has a little bit stronger early game at the cost of not quite as much utility. Sorry, I'm getting pings. I'm trying to manage things. And Lulu going to be locked in for OME. Alright, and Gangplank is the lock-in for Lil Saint. Gangplank feels pretty strong after a couple of changes. A lot of his rougher matchups got nerfed, so it seems like a pretty generically good pick. They're going to get rid of the Mordekaiser, which is interesting given that Gangplank is pretty good into Mordekaiser. But that's neither here nor there, I guess. It's gone. And OME now can target mid and support, so they actually have quite a few options. Natura's Thresh, of course, is still an option. They could look at knocking Death Lotus a little bit down as tier list. The Katarina is still available, and now it isn't. There it is. I was waiting for that one. Now debate, and it's Kale that's going to be gone. Kale is actually pretty annoying for Gangplank. I'll give him that one. It's a champion that doesn't have as good an early game, but definitely scales much harder than Gangplank does. And once you get to a certain point, you can contest the barrels super easily. It's hard to set up things. It's just annoying. And Syndra going to be taken away from Death Lotus. I'd imagine this will be a support pick, given that they can see the entire enemy bottom lane. This feels like a Matsuro Thresh. They're hovering Pike. I wonder if... I mean, that has to be a call-out. I don't think Matsuro's a Pike player. That's the spooky boy I would expect. And the Malphite locked in along with Ahri, so generically good mid laner and the tank pick into the Gangplank to try to round that one out. He'll get beat up pretty good early by the Gangplank, but can just kind of sit there and absorb waves later on in the game as long as he doesn't get too far behind. If he gets very far behind, though, Gangplank just runs over the whole map. And Vex will be the counter for Death Lotus, so... Sorry, I'm not really translating the hype. I'm trying to figure out where my co-caster is. He just logged into League. Hasn't made it into the voice call yet. And is offline on Discord. So, you know. We're like halfway there. Should still be a pretty good game. Both teams have a lot of team fighting potential. Have a lot of scaling involved. It sets us up for longer banger game. Thank you so much for the subs, X-Craze and Lipo Lane. Do really appreciate it. Did we get him? Do we have the boy?
Hello?
Hello?
There we go.
You survived the Windows update?
No.
Oh.
Windows is a bad platform and I will be accepting 0 questions.
Got that big Windows 11 upgrade?
Windows is like capitalism, IMO. It's a horrible system. It's the worst system, except all of the other systems.
Well, I'll send you a draft link so you can at least look at the draft, and then you can spectate off of whoever.
I'm a huge fan of that.
Here
Let's
in
go.
a second. Because other than that, it's been me attempting to distill my, little bits of knowledge into this.
League of Legends is also a good platform, and it listed you under offline. So I thought like you had given up on me and just gone off of League for the evening.
Yeah, that was it. No co-caster, no stream. We
give up on those. Oh, this is the list of champions that are selectable in my video game. Huh.
Yeah, they did pick 10 of them. You'll have about a minute, and then you can spectate in the client and see in the client if you want. But
absolutely massive.
Oh, I like that I just have loading game this thing. That's I had to change things around for the community night, and I've been slowly discovering what I did to my my slides while I was doing that. So
nice.
That's been a fun experience too.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, that sounds pretty nice.
Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Is Lulu Caitlyn a thing? Like there weren't any 80 carry bans that I can see in this. Well, Twitch, but
they banned Twitch, but yeah. Other than that,
but they were the ones who banned it. Like nothing got. I guess Lulu Caitlyn just is peak comfort probably. I've never seen these two champions perform super well together.
No, what I think's weird. So it feels like for, since Arcane came out, it's been the Jinx first pick. But Jinx has finally been hurt enough that you should stop picking her. By the way, if you're still picking her, don't. But so it feels like that just I want to play a marksman with a lot of range and safety, so I'm just going to play Caitlyn instead. Even though I don't think that Caitlyn is necessarily like the best pick, but it's a slightly better in that same vein comfort.
Yeah, naturally we're in one of those bot lane metas where currently the top 5 ADCs or top 5 bot lane champions are not marksmen at all. They're like Swain, Karthus, Seraphine, Ligar. Naturally.
Yeah.
However, the most popular by far that is still like up there on the list is Jhin, and I didn't see him show up in my draft, so I was a little confused.
Yeah, Jhin and Lucian, I think, are the two big powers, and then you've got like Ezreal is the tier behind. I think Tristana's probably pretty good, but people don't like to play Tristana, so she doesn't show up unless she's like disgustingly good.
And then you've got the El Clasico matchup in the top side of the match where it's Xin Zhao versus Jarvan. Hello, we're here to impact the video game.
I do like that.
We all,
no resident sleepers in the jungle. We're going to try to actually do some things.
Peak job security in my mid lane on both sides. I actually have not gotten the opportunity to play a lot of this matchup because I didn't see Vex for the first 2 weeks that champion was released, so... And then I took like a 6-month break from the game, so that's also an issue.
Anyway, let me sell you on this matchup. This is Rodham coming in at 3-1, trying to complete the OME Infinity Gauntlet. They beat OME Blue, they beat OME Gold. This is OME Ascension. It's the last one in their division that they have to complete. There's 2 other teams, but they're in other divisions, so don't get to go for the full sweep, but you know, you collect those and then you can snap away the rest of the competition. I think that's how it goes. That's all I've got. That's my big selling point for you.
That was pretty good. Like I assumed you were reading off like a teleprompter or something, and you were waiting for the next sentence to load, so I didn't immediately jump in to follow that. But
oh boy, here I go casting again. Excellent. Yeah, we got 5 seconds to go. I hope you've jumped into spectate at this point, and
I am locked out of the ability to spectate a game. I'm gonna restart my client real quick.
Okay, that doesn't sound great or promising.
No.
Let me look on the OPGG and see if you can spectate from there.
Okay, I hit the button, and it gave me the player profile, which is kind of impressive.
So worst case scenario, you could download the spectate off of OPGG. It looks like they are available there. So
yeah, that's kind of interesting. So the spectate button is no longer grayed out for me, but now it just redirects to the page for that player.
Okay.
Like their profile in client. Oh, it's loading now. Huh? This company makes so little money. I wish they could hire developers.
I just like the LOR client's fine. The Valorant client's fine.
Mm-hmm.
The TFT mobile client, not that bad. It's okay. What is this? Nope. Their flagship game. Anyway, Scrams is doing the bait thing. Is MetaShift going to buy this? I don't know that he pushed him far enough back. Did he push him far enough out of vision? Is MetaShift going to take this? Poofin's waiting around the corner. There's no way, right? Oh, there's the way. Do they have enough CC at level 1, though? No, they're not going to go for this. Okay.
That was almost really, really cool. I see Harvest go for this quite a bit, and I love it.
They got it in like week 3, and I was very impressed. They're still just chilling. Are they? Oh, the flash hook at level 1. They're just gonna get the trade damage. There's no way they kill, right? There's no way they kill.
Oh, they kill.
Oh, the flash shield from Poofin. Okay. Lulu
So
and
overall,
Flash. Yeah.
they actually do lose out on that summoner trade by a little bit, but you're also in a scenario where Ahri has no choice but to stay in mid lane at this health, which sucks so much.
And they're going to walk in level 1 onto Persona. They get the hook onto Poof, and now they can just go onto the Lulu.
No flash.
The exhaust finally coming up. No flash on her. The heals come out trying to get it. There's a little shield is enough to keep Poofin alive, but now what do you do as the Lulu? And here comes the level 2 into mid lane. MetaShift took his W, remember, and the Ignite coming down. It's first blood for Scrams, and already ROTM cranking up the intensity. Oh, the hook.
Dude, if I'm MetaShift, I've already clocked out. Like, I'm already done playing League of Legends today. Oh, on that subject, the Wild Rift client, it's fine.
Yeah, that's fair. I saw.
All right, I'm really I'm really upset about that.
No, I saw this meme today. It was like, what if a regular game of League of Legends existed, but the client worked and it didn't have Yone or Silas in it or something like that? It's just like come to Wild Rift. Anyway, there's a pause. Maybe MetaShift
Nice.
DC'd after that. Nope, ADC's an issue. Okay. Duvranga's having some sort of issue.
Mouse don't work.
Hard to right click minion. They were talking in the pregame lobby about Applebee's.
That's a conversation topic. Solid.
I don't know
Sure.
why that was the big thing. Now they've transitioned onto applesauce. Do you have a strong opinion about applesauce?
Thematic. I wouldn't say strong necessarily. It's still like a top tier snack if you want like no nutritional value and you don't want your stomach filled up at all. If it's purely for like texture and taste and like a vessel to input sugar directly into your body, go for it. All you.
If you want to pretend like you're a toddler again, enjoy that same food.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. If you want the Gerber experience but you want it to taste good.
Well, we are back.
There it is.
So we're gonna stop here in a couple of seconds again, but you know we're back.
Naturally. Yeah, we didn't get the opportunity to talk about this top lane matchup. It sucks. That's all. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no. Lanes that contain Malvarrock Phytamus against people who don't really do like buku early damage to punish Malvarrock Phytamus for not having his standard 600 armor at 12 minutes, then you kind of just don't ever get to impact him.
Well, Kavo is here in the bottom lane trying to get a gank down on the Zinzao. Scrams is here for the counter. They get a big chunk out of Matsuro. He's got to be a little bit careful now with both summoners down. Can't be too aggressive or could definitely be punished by the Zen.
It's actually just a completely summonerless bot lane for Harvest. Just the flash up on via Persona. So we're looking at like sleeper experience for the next couple of minutes in bot lane, unless something interesting happens with Scrams, but he doesn't have any camps to clear down into except that crab, and I don't really expect him to look in that direction.
Yeah, now unfortunately Duvranga getting the Tristana versus Caitlyn experience where you can't really walk up to the wave because she's got 9 billion range and you don't yet. So they're down a little
it's
CS,
all sorts
but
of fun.
If Duvranga can keep it competitive in CS, that's a big win usually coming out of the Caitlyn Tristana lane. Meanwhile, Saint has done pretty well for himself on the farm department. Early on, goes back and buys a Sheen, so he's on one of the many Gangplank power spikes.
Yeah, that is one thing that's nice about the matchup is that Gangplank early is still like a pseudo-ranged character into Malphite, so you shouldn't miss too many CS. It's not like Malphite has the ability to really poke you out. You just don't get to do a whole lot to him.
clicked on something stupid. I'm trying to reorganize my monitors. One of these days, we're gonna get big enough. I'll hire somebody to run the stream for me. It's gonna be glorious. But until then,
Yeah, you'll get an observer.
get an observer, get
That'd be
somebody to
great.
run the OBS, and then there won't be any stupid mistakes like the ones I always make. But until then, this is what you get. I don't like this item that's in Scram's inventory. I'm
Nope.
not a big fan.
I hate this a lot. It's not okay. So it's not that it's objectively bad, right?
Mhm.
It's fine, but you're playing into Xin and you have a enchanter support. You also already have a good amount of dive to follow up on Jarvan. Like you've got Vex, you've got probably the dive ADC, maybe, not counting Samira. You want to be like just blowing people up, and you have so many targets you could just blow up.
Yeah, and I don't even like you don't need that much damage to blow somebody up either. Like just going like a stride breaker or something like that feels like it's enough in this situation. Oh, get all of those.
Or given that
Oh. Okay.
given that you're pseudo tanking in this lineup, or you're at least pseudo frontline, Gore is fine because you're gonna have melee targets to be hitting.
Yeah, I also think it's weird that you would go the electrocute paired with it. I feel like you just go the Conqueror, right? If you're gonna go tank. Death Lotus is in a lot of trouble. The unstoppable force over the wall, MetaShift in. Oh, the flash just wasn't quite enough to get clear, and the clap from Sentinel is enough to finish him off.
I'm not convinced you flash there.
That is Sentinel, right? Okay, yes.
Mm-hmm.
I keep rethink. At first, I was gonna go with Saltine, just like spur of the moment, and I knew that one wasn't right, so it took a second. And yeah. Sorry.
I mean, I'm sad personally that we got robbed of the opportunity to just uh, uh woefully incorrectly call him Saltine for the rest of the stream
S.
because it was the established precedent.
I mean, S3 in Tyne 1 is also acceptable, I think.
I don't like that more. It was a long day at work. We might see the stream devolution that always happens a little sooner than normal for me tonight.
Yep, they're going to use the Cannon Barrage in top lane to get the Flay, and S3 Tynal 1. I'm adding syllables now. Going to fall to Scrams immediately. Scrams has both kills now for RTM. I also don't like if you get kills on Jarvan, just build the damage. Like, just do it.
Honestly, like at this point, I would be kind of totally okay if he just hit stopped for a damage item as a follow up because he's already locked in his mythic. But that doesn't mean that you can't go like Cleaver or early Sterix. Both are
Death Lotus is shading down.
ish,
Has the
okay.
Shadow Surge available. They were trying to make sure that Duvranga wasn't going to get dove, and successfully do keep him away from the diving board in this case. So um, the play just costs a lot of time for Cavo and MetaShift. They were able to take the blue buff and the Gromp, so it wasn't like Zinzao wasn't farming. So ultimately, probably doesn't cost them too much, but they do successfully dissuade the dive.
Yeah, and speaking of the eye on the CS that we wanted to keep, Saint can make that little roam down to mid to cover wave and make sure none of the XP is lost because it doesn't really matter if Sentinel farms. He's pretty firmly in the hole on the deficit, and him getting his item spikes any sooner than he would have already been behind isn't particularly relevant.
Oh, the
Tragic.
doubloons. I guess it's not the silver serpents, excuse me. The hook.
Oh,
Oh,
it was actually gonna be so pretty.
Yeah, the issue was he rushed it just a little bit, not quite able to predict the direction of the flash. Scrams goes in, still the E away from Via Persona, but now the EQ to follow. They have more than enough damage to take her down. Duvranga gets the kill. They get the charge in with Shelly as well, and they'll be able to cut this minion wave. So this is going very nicely on the dive for ROTM, and Scrams can continue to re-threaten. Although Cavo and MetaShift both headed down, Scrams has to be a little bit careful here. The Ari is headed into the area. Death Lotus has wandered down as well. Do they pull the trigger on this one? MetaShift. Ooh, a nice dodge out of the Vex combo. He's going in looking for Scrams. The last little bit of damage is healed by Duvranga as he's able to rejoin. Cavo now getting a little bit low. The Shadow Surge in from Death Lotus. Gets charmed, gets taken down by Cavo. Can they re-engage? Do they even want to? It doesn't look like it. Just the one kill back for OME.
It's really nicely played there by MetaShift. He blew every resource and forced another summoner. So Scram's completely out of the fight, and then I was able to get back out thanks to some
don't take
nicely
this.
placed.
Oh no!
No.
The bait here
like,
via
not
Persona
like this.
just holds his ground, and Duvranga going to fall. The ace in the hole won't be enough to finish off Matsuro. But now control of that Dragon Pit's going to flip over, and OME will definitely get on the board there.
Yeah, saving grace is this is a cloud, and you don't really care about a standalone cloud when you haven't seen Rift yet, but it does suck to have that happen. You had built up a really nice setup for Dragon as soon as Scrams was back out on the map. So
Teleport back to top lane from Sentinel means that he's not going to be able to have that global influence here. It'll come up like right before actually the Unleashed teleport comes out, so I guess it's not that bad. But
did they nerf it again? Oh no, it's
yeah,
it's gonna be like 2-3 minutes after the Unleashed teleport.
Is it 5 minutes? No, it's a 6-minute cooldown. Jesus Christ. Okay, yeah.
Oh yeah.
My bad. Okay, so he's gonna have
that's
it 4
gonna be up
minutes
around
after.
like
Yeah.
17.
Well, never mind. I was right in my initial analysis. Should have gone with the gut.
Yeah, it's I don't know why they picked 14 specifically. I think just to tilt people like me, because my standard I need to TP back for this wave timing is around like 11 minutes exactly right here, or 12, and then you don't want to just sit with unused summoner for that long. It also feels bad to try and take a earlier cheater recall at like 8 minutes and hit it right on the dot. Like that's super bad.
Ooh, Death Lotus. Gotta be a little careful there. Just gets the ward down in time and doesn't get hit by the Zin W. But 3-3, one dragon aside. About 1,000 gold is the difference right now. Most of that's going to be top lane farm for Lil Saint and the extra. No, it's literally just that actually. Everything else is pretty much even.
Yeah, everything else is accounted for. It's actually just swinging a little bit in the opposite direction in jungle for Cavo. He's quite a few camps up in total on Scrams.
So you would think that, but because of the extra kill and the turret plates, he's actually dead even in gold.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Not a single gold between them right now. Matsuro's worked his way into this bush. Via Persona has to be a little bit careful, but they do have Cavo in the area and Scrams is not, so I don't think Matsuro and Duvranga can look for this one, or at least they should hopefully know that they can't look for that one. This is getting a little risky business, but they have Scrams. Matsuro's going to walk in. He sees Cavo. And now we're just going to chill for a bit.
Yeah, I appreciate that call. Cavo's not really somebody you want to mess with right now, especially since he's one of 2 people on his team who has finished up a Mythic at this point. Which is never something you really want to tangle with. You might have him here, though.
Yeah, they're trying to target him down. They hit the Shadow Surge in. It's not doing the damage yet. The Crescent Guard is doing a lot of work for him, but Duvranga is eventually able to get in there, get some shots in, and they'll take down the Jungler. There's still 2 minutes to go before that dragon spawns, so it's just going to be the kill in the river. But you take that, and now they have the opportunity maybe to look for a play with Duvranga and Matsuro. They could rotate around if they want to. There's a couple of options, but nothing really appealing.
There's also a free rift that Scrams will happily help himself to. I don't like this Malphite skin.
At
This
camp
feels
name
way too
spawning and
Warwick.
at timer at.
Huh?
I have a. There's a ping just at camp name at spawning and at timer
Love that.
at.
Huge fan.
What the fuck is this Kate build? That's a question. This is. I think this is
Lethality.
kind of similar to the Saber build right now, where you go a little bit of lethality and a little bit of crit, probably. It's kind of a mess, but it maximizes your ult damage and your trap damage, if I remember correctly.
So don't actually do this in your games or you're gonna get reported, but there is a very similar build you can do on Yasuo at late, like 5 items, lethality Yasuo, kinda just 2 shots people. You get to build an collector, it's very fun. For norms only, but it's very fun.
I'm immediately taking it into my rank games.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I haven't played a rank game in months. I don't know what I'm talking about. But Rodham hopefully knows what they're talking about right now as there are 15 seconds to go before the dragon spawn. Scrams. They get the Spirit Rush out. He's still going to go in. I feel like you just take the win of the cooldown going down, but Scrams instead going to force his way in, get the lose his flash in the process. Everybody is hanging around the area. Now they're going to see Sentinel down there. They know that Gangplank is here as well, but they're going to turn on to Cavo. The Buster shot back away, and he'll be able to stay alive thanks to the Wild Growth. Death Lotus gets charmed, gets taken pretty low. The flash in from Sentinel finds one knockup, and they'll take down one. On the other side of the fight, somehow Little Saint was able just to finish off somebody with the ultimate, I guess. Oh, the barrel over the wall. They find the Lulu. It's a double kill for the Gangplank now as Cavo and MetaShift trying to find anything here in the mid lane. Sentinel walking his way in. Can this 3-man squad re-engage on the 4-man squad of ROTM? It doesn't look like they want to. They're just going to take some mid-prio.
Yeah, they're gonna pick up some mid prio, maybe move up to steal. Yeah, move up to steal away the top camps. But yeah, that's what happens when you burn all of your resources killing mid lane. You end up not getting the neutral objective. Big sad. Unlucky. Also, yeah, this is like super illegal. I can't find. I've scrolled through 180 postings on pro builds. There is no lethality Caitlyn. There is no Warren bossing say.
I think it's a Saber build. It sounds like a Saber build. That's all I've got.
I mean, it definitely does sound like a Saber build. The issue that I sometimes have with Saber's builds is that they work for Saber.
I think when you one-trick a champion, you just have to find something that you find, like, you already enjoy the champion, but you gotta change things up just a little bit, and you probably have some sort of opinion that just doesn't usually go by the numbers, because if you just did the 100% numbers best build every single time you played the champion, you'd probably go insane.
Oh, definitely.
One. I don't have that. I'm not a person who can just play one champion, or I have trouble even keeping to like a profile, a portfolio even.
I have trouble keeping to a role, so you are in good company here, friend.
But I would imagine, I don't want to speak for One Tricks, there's probably some guy out there who just does the exact same Kled build every single game, 100% of the time, and he's very happy. And to him, like, great, he found the thing that makes League worth playing. I haven't found it, but, you know, good that he did. Not quite there for Matsuro in the bottom lane. They might be in a little bit of trouble as the collapse is coming in. They're going to use some ults up in the top lane, and in comes Scrams. Does trap Saint in the pit for a brief second, and he'll get the shot, the parlay. He casts Gun, and Lil Saint picks up his 3rd kill of the game.
It's a lucky thing that Scrams was there. We started seeing the Sentinel is playing Maldoron Fight's experience.
Well,
yeah, you can't.
He big dead. Unfortunately, Matsuro got the kill. Oh, the Shadow Surge just doesn't quite clip there from Death Lotus. I don't know why they're still posturing so aggressively. They don't have backup. They know that they don't have backup. They're still going to go for the hook. MetaShift gets a little chunk. Matsuro is actually taking much work. Oh, never mind. All right. Maybe they knew what they were about. They have the burst from the explosive shot from Duvranga and the Hail of Blades, but I still don't think you can force 2v3.
Honestly, if MetaShift didn't dash back there, Matsuro should just die. Because if he lands the Q follow-up instead of dashing back before the Q, because he got the charm. It would have just been. Yeah, no, he didn't have summoners. It
What
would
is
have
he
been anything.
doing?
Kill.
They don't have help. There's
Get
no
him.
one on their half of the map.
Kill.
He's still going for another hook. Oh
Kill.
my god. What a madman. Okay, Death
Win.
Lotus is here. He's almost got mana. He doesn't have an ult though. No flash, no ult.
Huge baits. Okay, he missed the charm. That should be everybody leaving. I say predictively and hopefully. More hopefully than predictably.
Okay, everybody left finally.
We made it. The good timeline. Good ending. Rock.
Saint's going for the Chad build. Only Chads
Love it.
here. We go Essence Reaver into Prowler's Claw and Gangplank. It's 100% the most fun way to play Gangplank. Is it the best? No, but it is very fun. So we take those.
I mean, given the texture of the enemy team, we are looking at a potential world in which, without Barrel, assuming Shield or Wild Growth are down.
Ooh, Shadow Surge
can
on Via
just-
Persona.
oh,
Is this the one shot?
Yeah.
Oh no, Scrams the flag kill. All right. Well,
Easy.
easy. Very clean 45 seconds before the dragon spawns, so they'll be able to swoop in and take control of this vision and make sure that OME shouldn't have a clear path in.
I really do want to see the bush cheese where we get Prowler's Claw onto the Lulu, followed by Gun passive auto, and it's just a kill.
Mitsuru using the box to disengage. MetaShift just giving him some autos. They're going to engage on him. Using the Cannon Barrage to try to disengage. Scrams jumps onto Kavo. I don't know about that target selection because Matsuro's going to die and Scrams doesn't really have help. Death Lotus just firing in over the wall. Saint is finally here but can't really contribute. He just used his barrels on the wave. Now able to land a barrel combo. Hits 2. Duvranga from the side. Can he chunk through? He gets the reset onto Sentinel but then gets immediately knocked up by Kavo. Just the wrong timing for him. Death Lotus and Lil Saint still pressing their way in, but here comes Via Persona fresh off of his respawn into the mid wave. This should be an OME dragon. Oh, MetaShift doesn't find the charm. That should be it. All right.
I'm still a bit confused because
Shadow
Via
Surge.
Persona's dead. Yep, I was gonna say Via Persona should just be dead here.
Oh.
Yep. You I'm sorry. I don't mean to like. You really just can't be there. Like even with Flash, unless you're ready to trade Flash for Flash and still die, which didn't end up happening. He just ate the Shadow Surge to the face. But your team is actively in the Dragon Pit on the objective. You're walking up mid lane with no tower.
Our team's gonna kind of call the heads up here. They're going for dragon.
Audible.
They or the Baron, the purple worm. Oh no, Duvranga. All right. Duvranga. If they were looking that way, they would have seen the scrying orb hit. They still get away with this, right? Yeah, because OME is just not reacting to it. So they get the Baron. All right.
Huge.
Do they
Well,
get out?
now,
They're zooming in, Kavo and Poofin. No, not going to find anybody. Yeah, that's it. They just picked their pocket. All right.
Well, now Return of the Middlesticks firmly in control at 5 to head on gold. They have the large purple buff that makes the minions do more minion-y. Even in drags, but that's about the extent of what you can say as an advantage for OME.
They still have an easier to execute front to back teamfight composition, if it comes to that, but not if you blow a bunch of cooldowns. It's Xin Zhao ult used, and he'll just dash back over the wall to farm some minions. They weren't able to get that mid lane tower off of the pressure, and now in comes ROTM. Oh no, Via Persona! The Vex experience 3 times in a row. The hook gonna land, and now he doesn't have the Crescent Guard available. Kavo is dead. The Unstoppable Force kind of looked like it got stopped by the Jarvan Jacuzzi, but they'll continue beating him around. It's a double kill for Duvranga as they jump in. Poofin gets hit by the Shadow Surge reset, and he'll fall to the auto attack from Death Lotus. It's 4-0 for Return of the Middlesticks, and they'll push in mid.
So, I don't have a whole lot to say about that, so instead I'm going to focus on the one thing that I did find funny and interesting. The Unstoppable Force didn't get stopped. It was that the only person within the knock-up radius was Scrams, and he actually dodged it with Cataclysm. Which is super fun, getting to do that. You can also do the same thing on stuff like Hextech Ultimatum.
Well, they finally were able to kill Lil Saint. Well, they'll remember this is the day that they finally killed Gangplank, but it doesn't matter because their Nexus died. So 15-8, not the bloodiest game, but ROTM set the tone early and then just continued to push and push and push their little advantages. And in the end, Saint almost with the Flame Horizon in the top lane, and you wind up with 5 kills on Duvranga. That's about how you draw it up.
Yeah. No, really cleanly executed game from the rest of it. It was pretty even early on, to be honest with you, but Return of the Middlesticks, once the laning phase ended, they hit the 20 minutes, they got all their mythics, and then they started rolling.
Well, we'll take just a short break. We'll be back with game number 2, RTM on match point. Challenge is not currently supported by this mode. I would hope not. Thank you, Riot Client. These LPL champ select musics are kind of wild, to be honest. I thought it'd be fun just to do LPL rather than the usual like LEC or LCS. It's really loud. They have a lot of... It's not the wub-wubs, it's like guitars and shit. It goes pretty hard. Feel free to screenshot.
Nice. Love that. I don't know, I've always kind of liked the LPLs. They're very unique.
I don't know that I've watched very many LPL broadcasts, because it's always on at the time of the LCK, and I always vibe more with LCK. I like that we beat our entire team here.
Been great. Shout out Sentinel for enjoying the stream.
S3 and Tyne 1.
It's actually just going to take me so much time to overtake Lipo for gifted subs. 3.
Yeah, that's a couple. Lane's got the dirty Twitch money, so it's hard to compete with.
Yeah, it's an amount, for sure.
Staff in the chat, hide the memes. Saltina's accurate, though. Poor guy. The gift subs, trying to climb your way back in. Man, you got some good ones in there. Hit Lexus
Right?
and Garethar.
Oh, we hit today.
Kill. My dog's just over here licking my leg. Didn't expect him to be over here, let alone licking my leg at that moment.
Oh, we're drafting.
Oh, here we go. Drafting again.
Here it is. No Troll King. Not Troll Chief. Troll King. Character's still like super illegal in my opinion, by the way. If you have not gotten the opportunity somehow yet to play Lethal Tempo Trundle Top, heavily recommend.
But have you played it in One for
I have not.
All?
Does sound great though.
Trundle was surprisingly maybe the #1 win rate champion in One for All for a while. It was like 85%. It was very impressive. You just run down mid as a 5-stack, put your W's down, your frozen domain, and just start chomping turrets. And they stacked together the first like 2 times it came out, and then people realized the Trundle was broken, and then they didn't let it stack anymore.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good call. I do appreciate the meta drafting that we're getting. Assuming it is meta drafting, I don't know for sure how Saints' proclivities for Ornn stack up, but you see a team that bans Trundle, and you think they might want to play Ornn because, well, several reasons really. Pillar stopping the ult is super fun, but actually just removing all of Ornn's defenses also sounds great.
Yeah.
What are we prioritizing here? Let's.
So
OME
is the one that OME is the one that picked red side, presumably so that they can get counterpicked for MetaShift. So you would imagine our TM's looking at AD probably? No, they're looking at Nocturne.
I was hoping for the Twitch, but I appreciate the Nocturne flexibility. There's so many things you can just stack on top of the Nocturne comp, and it becomes really annoying. You don't even have to necessarily make it exactly Shen Galio. You could. That's definitely something that you can do, but...
And it's something that they've done a couple of times this split. There's the Mordekaiser that was banned in Game 1, so Sentinel going to get his hands on that, and then they're going to go right back to the Caitlyn.
Can't blame him for that, necessarily. It feels like it's probably just a comfort champion for via Persona. Did get picked on a little bit in the tail end of that last game by Vex, so maybe that's something that's worth tossing a ban out to if you don't expect to see it in the next 2 picks here.
Yeah, a lot of opportunities though for ROTM. Could be the Shen Olaf. Alright.
Huge fan. Love this.
Reworked Olaf going into the top lane for Saint presumably, and they get the Twitch for Duranga.
Yeah, you get to just You actually have a pretty nice timing window. Oh, okay, this is interesting.
So that's a mid lane Mordekaiser for MetaShift.
Are we positive it's not jungle Mordekaiser for Kava?
It could be. I don't think that that's like good though.
Oh, it's definitely bad, right? But so is mid lane Mordekaiser for MetaShift.
More jungle is strong, says Weeb in the chat.
Yeah,
I'll be damned if I take a weeb's opinion on it, but you know, maybe that's what we're looking at. Is it good into the Nocturne? That's a blitz ban that just happened that didn't happen.
I can't see a world in which it's actually like a good counter pick to Nocturne specifically, but you do get some funny interactions that you can do with the Mordekaiser ult. Into Paranoia, so
so no Thresh, no Blitz.
So
No
they're calling out
Rakan.
that it's a blitz ban.
Yeah. So Matsuro knocked pretty far down his tier list, and you have the opportunity to maybe take one of the champions if you want to. What does Matsuro have left in the tank?
Convert into a Mumu. We just
I
follow
mean,
the path of Garithar.
a Mumu or Nautilus still seem like pretty Matsuro champions that exist. He also plays a lot of Karma, which is a different look, but definitely a possibility. I'm gonna take the Jarvan. So Jarvan into Nocturne, which means that it's the mid lane Mordekaiser. Sorry, sports fans out there.
Karma Twitch is interesting. So is Cat Rat, but you can't really pick it into Mordekaiser, which sucks. Also, I don't think Matsuro is a particularly huge fan of Cat. Not that I am either, I just, that combo always makes me a little bit angry.
Silas.
That's reasonable. You've got Malphite, and you've got a couple other ults that are decent-ish. But mostly it's for Malphite. Like, you're not picking Silas to steal Cataclysm or Ace of the Hole.
It's alright to steal Cyber Brazil though. And you can turn Cyber Brazil back on him and get the extra 10% buff in there.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. I'm wondering how we're looking at these lane assignments, right? Because now we're expecting Malphite top into reworked Olaf, which is you pick the Olaf for the matchup into Mordekaiser, presumably. So maybe we're looking at Silas takes whatever lane Malphite is in, and Olaf takes whatever lane Mordekaiser's in. Also, we get Rodham Rel.
Rodham Rel?
Rodham Rel?
Yeah, you know, there's this female support champion with a horse, but we should probably give the Hinding skin to Leona. Anyway.
We have Sokara.
Soraka's interesting. That's... Forgive me. Who does the damage? Where were you when Olaf was die? I wasn't.
I was at home, eat Dorito when I got the call. Pixel Penguin is kill. No.
If they're waiting for me, just go. Are they waiting for me? Okay.
Signs point to no.
Both teams were readied up and they were just sitting there, and I was like, I don't get to have an opinion about this, nor do I want one. So.
Well, as it compares to the previous draft, everything's different, and the only mainstays are like Malphite, Caitlyn.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
Jarvan
everything's
teams,
different.
but...
Yeah, Jarvan moved.
Yeah, it is kind of weird that you'd go into game 2 of a series and just completely go off the board for all 5 picks, but Rodham wanted to change things up, so there they did.
It is also like a different play style with this team comp as well. It's not quite as, well, no, I can't say that. It's about as dive heavy as the last one was, but it's a different kind of dive. You're also just, this one feels just a little bit cheesier. You've got Paranoia, you've got Stealth Rat who shoots gun. Is it a bow? There was a timeline in which it was a bow, like a hand crossbow. Is it still a hand crossbow?
It's a hand crossbow, but it looks like a pistol in his splash art for some reason.
It looks like a pistol in his splash art, and it sounds like a pistol when he fires it.
Maybe
like it doesn't have the Demon Hunter from Diablo 3 sound effect every time you fire it, like the hand crossbow.
Maybe it is a pistol.
It's not main.
Off of the visual update or whatever they did to him. I don't remember now. But...
Yeah. Also, we don't really talk about it, but like Vayne was very aggressively Demon Hunter from Diablo 3, in much the same way that Talon was Assassin's Creed. So
yeah. Also Michael Jackson.
But...
Have you seen the
Oh, I'm sorry.
Magikarp used fly talon video?
I have. Yes.
I'm going to rake corn. Alright, anyway. None of those words make any sense out of context. Cool. We're almost done with our second draft. Mansuro's going to wait until 1 second to lock in his champion because I hate him and he hates me. Neither of those are true, for the record. But he do be waiting until 1 second to lock in his champion every single time.
Actually, it's much closer to like 0. Yep, there it is. You see 0 every time. He doesn't even give you the courtesy of waiting till 1.
One day it's not going to work out for him, and it's going to be very difficult.
One day.
As somebody who had to play a random champion because of somebody not locking in correctly, don't do that to me.
I miss when random was a thing. There was a period of time where League of Legends really did not care at all.
Yeah.
You don't pick your champion? Hey, we'll give you this one. Game starts. Huh?
It still does it in customs, for the record. But
Yeah, that
because
no.
we
If
have
you
all these
ever
other
want any,
draft interfaces, it doesn't.
yeah, if
come
you want
into
any
effect.
confirmation at all that Riot does not care at all about customs, they haven't updated that feature and about 12 other ones. Like how every single mode in the game has stay over on your summoner spells. Like the last time you played ARAM, it was Mark and Flash. Yeah, no. It's not map specific. Customs just takes whatever you last had, if it's available.
I really liked, this is only sort of related, when TFT first came out, you would actually all load in as KDA Kaisa. It was just an 8-person lobby, and you were all KDA Kaisa.
Really?
I think it was some sort of controller underneath the board that they had to load in as a champion. Because it was just built on the League of Legends client. I think now they've fixed it, but that was definitely a thing when you, like during the first set, maybe even the second one. Because every once in a while the loading screen would bug out and you'd just see everybody as KDA Kaisa.
That's awesome. I didn't actually remember that. And I played a lot of TFT when it came out. I remember when you were running a TFT circuit for a little while.
Yeah, I did do that allegedly.
I
also
only
won the
remember it.
circuit.
Yeah, you farmed up worthy adversaries. It's like the it's basically the plot to Mortal Kombat, actually.
Yeah, we had weekly qualifiers. People would, qualify based on the points or whatever. And then somebody just didn't show up for the final, so I just played, and then I won. And yeah, there's a great meme of me being President Obama giving myself the Medal of Honor for winning the TFT tournament.
I would love to find that again. I don't know if you have it. You can send it to me. That'd
probably
be awesome.
have it somewhere. But...
Yeah. I remember the circuit specifically because when I went in week 2, I first placed 2 lobbies in a row by hitting 9 light into 9 light. And everyone started accusing me of cheating. Not particularly seriously. I think there was one guy who was a little pissed off about it, but I have never since performed that well in any TFT-based tournament I've participated in.
Yeah, I did the Renekton reroll comp and got first place with it, and then the next game I did some sort of actual late game comp, so I felt very accomplished because we played both ends. But anyway, we loaded in to game number 2.
Absolutely huge.
Well, we're attempting to. The loading screen is currently.
We look like we're doing fairly well. Okay, neat. We have there it is. Yep, Caitlin from the hit show Arcane. And that Malphite skin still looks like Warwick to me.
Well, luckily Warwick also has an old god skin that looks like Malphite, so.
Huh. Yeah. And, yep, that checks out.
Anyway,
Is
welcome
that...
in to game number 2. Rodham on the blue side and OME Ascension on the red. MetaShift has the High Noon Mordekaiser skin that is the only one of this new set that I really like, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, it's super sick.
He's a train. He go choo-choo. I'm kind of upset they didn't do the same thing with Scion in the next little set.
Yeah, same here. But I guess there's already the like mecha one where he's a train, kind of.
Yeah, but like
He's train-esque.
it's such a cool aesthetic. I just don't understand why he needs to exist in the universe if he's not gonna be a train. But here we are. I'm also just very salty about the Leona skin. I think the Leona skin is very cool. I just don't understand why it's Leona and not Rel. Not a single clue.
Mm-hmm.
Other than
Yeah.
it'll sell better, probably, but it should be Rel. Saint doesn't have teleport, by the way, so that's a thing that we're going to have to keep track of this game.
Yeah, we've got it's kind of interesting. We first picked B1 Nocturne, and then we didn't build like any semblance of a Nocturne comp at all, and we didn't take TPs. So like, Scrams is gonna have to get a little bit creative on like how he wants to be Nocturne in this game, because laning phase you can just be Nocturne. It's probably fine. Nobody really cares. Post laning phase, if you paranoia the wrong person, you kind of just end up dead.
Here's the thing. I think it's going to be really hard to be Nocturne regardless. The level 1 cheese, Duvranga and Matsuro are going to go for it via Persona. Gets ignited, the PTA proc, the poison isn't quite enough to bury your heal combo from via Persona, and Poofin's enough to get him out.
Yeah, you get to do stuff like that when you're Twitch and Rel lands the thing. Also, this sucks. So we are seeing it. Return of the Middlesticks doesn't really have the lanes that they probably were hoping to have, but they aren't going to swap. They're just going to play it out. So Silas into MetaShift and his illustrious skinned Mordekaiser, and then Saint, no TP by the way, into S3 Entine 1's Malphite. That is actually just Warwick.
Combo's looking for the level 3 gank here in mid. Death Lotus has to be pretty careful. He's got the abscond on out. And he'll just have to take a little long way back to the lane there. Has to be careful about this little corner. If you're going to walk that way, I don't know why you take that corner. You just go all the way around, right?
Mm-hmm.
Save your flash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing is like, unless there's an immediate flash follow-up from MetaShift that you can't flash yourself, you didn't need to dodge that.
Via Persona's level 3. Duvranga's still flashing on in with Matsuro, trying to find the damage. And they'll get the counter flash. But now Saint... Yeah, not going to be able to get out of that one. The hook, the claw from MetaShift is enough to pick up first blood in the top lane. Just a nicely timed roam up to top lane. They shoved out mid, and it looked like Saint just wasn't respectful of that.
Yeah, it's just the lane to lane Jarvan experience. He's taken 1.5 less camps than Scrams has, and has an assist to his name because he went mid to top immediately. Can do that.
Yeah, well, now MetaShift very much on the board and in control. That first blood plus the extra gold, or the extra CS, he's going to be a problem to deal with.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult, especially in a lane where, as Silas, like the Olaf into Malphite matchup, fine. You don't get to play into Mordekaiser's ult as Olaf specifically. Big whoop. The Silas into Mordekaiser matchup kind of sucks. Like, you don't want to be close to Mordekaiser, and everything Silas does requires him to be close to Mordekaiser.
Yeah, Sentinel took a goofy little Little trip up there in top lane. Now he's gonna take a couple of axes from Saint. My shield never feels like it's that big when I play Mordekaiser. I just turn into paper. Other Mordekaisers are just invincible. Don't really understand that, but, you know, here we are. It's just one of those champions for me, I guess.
I feel the same way about playing Darius in general, really. When I'm playing against Darius, he's actually 1v5 unkillable raid boss starting at level 2. But when I'm on Darius...
Yeah, people just duel me and I lose. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I actually look like I'm the only human being on the planet who plays League of Legends in top lane that I know of who will lose level 1 trades on Darius with W.
This is really nice early on from OME. They've kind of, well, not kind of, they definitely have slowed down ROTM's tempo, and that's really where they want to be. It seems like they're much stronger in this sort of normalized team fight setting, because that's what they keep picking. So slowed it down, get one kill, get a dragon, and so far so good for them. It hasn't translated to a huge gold lead yet, but you take the little chips now, and it'll start to add up eventually.
Yeah, absolutely. And against this team comp specifically, you'll take any early lead you get.
Yeah, Via Persona in a little bit of trouble here. Matsuro uses the stun. Now they break through the shield. Do they have enough to actually power through? Duvranga with the expunge is enough to finish it off. And so the kill in the bottom lane for Duvranga and Matsuro. That was a nice little combo from them. And Duvranga definitely knows his damage on that rat.
Yep, really nicely calculated on their side. And there's a reason it's banned, right? You don't give Duvranga a rat.
The top lane gameplay experience. Featuring Sentinel and Little Saint 273. What do you think happened to the first 272 Little Saints?
I actually think it's more of like a designator. Like, you know how in the multiverse Marvel our Earth is 616. This is Lil Saint 273. So there are several others out there with varying degrees of skill in the game League of Legends.
Terrifying prospect, to be sure. Kavo just going to check on that Roofed Herald. Right now, Scrams is on the bottom side. He's got level 6, so Paranoia available. It looks like our team really wants to play toward this bottom side. They're setting up down here again. Saint is now into MetaShift in the mid lane, and now Kavo is going to be there to interrupt them. He's got to pop Ragnarok. He's got to get on out of there, but the ultimate counter to Olaf is Terrain, and he cannot get away from MetaShift and Kavo. And so again, Saint pays for a little bit of over-aggression.
They have now done the thing where they swap Malphite into the lane against Mordekaiser. And
Death
this
Lotus?
is why it's
All right.
Okay. Yeah, that's why.
That was a nice solo kill. Scrams is about to go to Cyber Brazil if I have any predictive ability. Oh, he might get out though. He's got the paranoia. He's got the fear. MetaShift still following in. Now takes him to Cyber Brazil. And the Favela's not very kind to Scrams this time. MetaShift picks up his third kill. Just that feels like it has a lot of force behind that bonk compared to the normal skin.
I kind of agree. Also, I recognize that I said Mordekaiser and meant Malphite as he was dying, but it was like action following that, and I didn't get to retcon it until this moment specifically. So.
Well, no one in Twitch chat called you out, so you got lucky. Anytime I say something wrong, Twitch chat's immediately there, but they got your back tonight. Duvranga looking for Poofin. They have a lot of healing of... Never mind.
Yep.
Alright.
Yeah. I think Twitch chat's being kind because they don't get me that often.
Well, we have a very even game thus far, but you have Raid Boss Twitch on one side of the map and Raid Boss Mordekaiser on the other to contend with.
So the issue with Raid Boss Mordekaiser is that if the rest of your team is behind, you kind of can't ever ult anyone, right? Or you can only ult one person, and it has to be the like solo damage dealer. Because if you ult Twitch out the gate in this team fight, the rest of your comp just kind of gets walked over by Olaf, Nocturne, Silas.
That's a huge chunk of damage on that W, by the way, from Death Lotus. I don't. That's another champion that doesn't do as much damage for me. Like, there's a couple. I won't say that I suck at like every champion, but those are two in specific that I just can't seem to make work. And other people, I watch them, and there they go, killing again. We've made that reference like 3 times today. It's remarkable. OME Ascension going to start up the dragon, and not going to be contested by ROTM. They're really not going to get anything in response, so it's just a clean take from OME. And we get a Hextech Dragon, Hextech Rift for game number 2.
I don't like that. Don't get to see a whole lot of competitive Hextech Rift. It's one of the more interesting ones. I really enjoy the fact that Riot thought they were going to get to print Chemtech Drake and leave it in the game.
Yeah, I only had one Chemtech Drake experience, and that was enough. I'll be honest.
Like, honestly, the soul didn't matter.
This is going to be a big fight here in the bottom lane. Already, though, the Jarvan is here to disrupt. Scrams is taken pretty low, but Duvranga picks up the kill. Matsuro's got to block the ace in the hole. Does he have enough movement speed? Oh, he's got the happy feet on the claw. Takes a big chunk. Duvranga just goes in, gets the assassination onto Poofin. Now has to keep his distance from MetaShift. He's trying to come out right next to Via Persona. Comes out instead next to MetaShift. It gets successfully exfiltrated from Cyber Brazil and gets the kill onto the Mordekaiser. 3 for 0 in the bottom lane for ROTM.
It is so illegal that Duvranga was able to pull that off. I saw that rat hit 4 HP.
That's a new challenge, by the way. Surviving champion combat with with a single digit health.
Huh. Challenges are here.
True. Scrams and Matsuro are going to pick up a little extra gold for themselves and get the bonk into the bottom lane turret. That doesn't suck.
Were challenges announced? Like, I logged into the client and I understand that I had been absent from League of Legends for like 6 weeks. However, I don't remember ever seeing any literature for that.
I don't think that there was a whole lot. It was just something that was included in their like personalization update at the beginning of the year, and they've posted about it like once or twice, like, yo, challenges are coming, look forward to them, and then they just kind of happened, and everybody was like, all right, there they are.
This kind of feels like Eternals 2.0, whereas like Mastery, because they capped it, was a really bad system for telling people that you're good at a champion, and then Eternals was also a really bad system for the way that it was designed for telling people that you're good at a champion. Now we've got a bad system for telling people how good you are at League.
I don't feel like it's that bad. Some
no,
of them are
like
actually kind of
I think they continuously, iteratively improve on them. Like challenges is to Eternals what Eternals was to Mastery. So it's gonna keep getting better, supposedly.
I like Eternals. I just don't like that you have to pay for Eternals. That's the sticking point for me. But all in favor of stat trackers. Anyway, Cavo trying to get on out of there. Matsuro trying to pull him back in with a Magnets from Scrams. In with the Paranoia. They're just not getting the CC down onto Cavo and Sentinel. So instead, they'll have to back away from that engagement in top lane.
And good on Cavo and Sentinel. Cavo has to burn the flash, but
oh, they're looking for the redive.
Scrams is really low. I don't know about this.
Yeah,
there is
well,
no
they have
ult,
Death
though.
Lotus. Never mind.
Yeah,
right.
yep.
They get the
This
wish, but it's just not enough. Death Lotus. Oh, he's fine. Never mind. He got the heal from the Triumph. MetaShift looking for an assassination target and then instead going to be greeted with an axe and a Draven emote as he walks away.
Yeah, that seems pretty on brand, honestly.
Yeah. 8-3. Duvranga's successfully existing down here in the bottom lane, so that's definitely a good sign for RTM. And he'll grab 5 out of 6. You take that when you're 1v2.
Oh, absolutely you do. Yeah, he's still, he's been down here 1v2 for like 2 waves, so it wouldn't have fully righted itself, but he's maintaining his CS lead, which is good to see.
Yeah. It's a pretty big lead again for ROTM. We'll see how they're able to play this one out. Duvranga is in on a mission, and he walks into melee range. They'll get the double knockup. Matsuro is, well, like most Rodham supports, pretty illegal on this champion, so they'll get 1 kill out of that. They'll get the bottom lane tower, and eventually, I'm sure, a dragon.
Yeah, that's just one of those, we're playing against Twitch, and we have to be conscious of playing against Twitch. It's one of my least favorite characters for that reason. It feels like Evelynn. I think maybe it's just one of those we're playing against invisibility type of things, but I don't feel the same way about Akali. Maybe because hers is stationary. I don't know. I should clarify. I feel the same way about Akali, but not for that reason. I dislike Akali for other more substantial reasons.
Oh, Saint in a little bit of trouble here, but in comes the squad to help him on out. They'll take down Cabo first. Fear doesn't quite connect on the MetaShift. He just kind of walks on out. Poofin gets taken pretty low. Duvranga from the side gets pulled into the Sex Dungeon, gets bonked with the horny stick from MetaShift. Now the re-engage. Not quite unable to find enough damage. MetaShift is doing so much damage, but it just wasn't enough to finish off the health bars of ROTM, and instead they'll get on out and they'll grab themselves a second Rift Herald.
Yeah, so when you ask that question in Champ Select who does the damage on the squad, it's MetaShift, to be clear. However, with nobody able to follow up on the fact that MetaShift does damage, you get Return of the Middlesticks as a 4-man walking away with about half HP, and basically full gas tank, full health bar remainder of OME that can't follow up because they actually lose that even with the health advantage that they have.
Are you an esports skin enjoyer or not?
I am. I haven't liked the last couple of years. I think the last one I really enjoyed was Damwon series of skins, but
See, I thought Damwon's was the weakest in a while. I like the champions that they chose better for EDG, so maybe that's part of it. But yeah, I don't know about the sound effect, but I like that they keep them in kind of a theme now. I think that's neat.
yeah. I also I think I don't know if it's necessarily my favorite overall, but FPX I think was probably the cleanest.
Yeah, I
At least
did
in
really
recent
like that.
memory.
Scrams is going in for the 1v1 and is going to die in the 1v1 to be a Persona. That's probably not a great trade. What is this build, by the way, from Scrams? This is
I was just about to comment on that.
no Flash Kraken Slayer.
What's the Kendall gem gonna be? Cleaver?
Why would you go Kraken Cleaver?
I don't know, but I can't. Like, I don't know what else it would be. I mean, there's a lot of things that build out of Kendall gem, but not that.
Sterix?
Nocturne
No,
would want?
not Sterix. I don't know.
Yeah, no, Steric's second item feels like super bad.
I guess we'll see. Scrams show us the way. Duvranga's just being straight up kind of disrespectful now.
Oh,
Walking down in.
it actually just builds into every item. But all of these are mythics, so I think it's just Black Cleaver. Which I hate, but I think it is.
Yeah, tower here in mid lane gonna go down. Cabo and Poofin hanging around the side. I don't think they can do a whole lot other than watch Sheila charge into their tower. MetaShift is gonna pull Matsuro into the Death Realm, and this is maybe not the experience that Mitsuru was hoping to have today on the Rel. Now he's able to escape, try to get onto Poofin. Poofin taken very low. Death Lotus goes in, finishes off. It's 1-for-1 after Death Lotus falls. Sentinel just gets the one-man knockup. It's a double kill, though, for Death Lotus, and he's rampaging over the backline. In comes, well, the Paranoid Dex doesn't actually matter at this point. Triple kill for Death Lotus, as now they're looking for the rest of it. Scram steals that one, and MetaShift, the last one left alive. He does a lot. He's able to trade Scrams out, but it's a 5-for-2 ace for Return of the Middlesticks. They'll take a mid lane tower and maybe a little bit more.
And yeah, Death Lotus kind of just got the opportunity to clean up the entire backline of that fight, and he's 6-0 on Silas. Has not gone back. I want to see. Yep, 2k in inventory for gold. Gets to spend that at the end of this here. Return of the Middlesticks now firmly in control at an yeah, it's over an 8k gold lead at this point. Just a bit, but over.
That's her what Shirelia's.
Huge fan of that energy.
Alright. Gotta go fast.
Speed.
He's Sanic.
Just speed hours. To be fair, Poofin also went Shirelia's, but that makes sense.
Would you not want Moonstone?
I feel like after the aggressive Moonstone nerfs, quite a while back, but I stopped seeing Moonstone as like super impactful on champions that already heal a ton. Like on like pseudo healers like Nami, I think it's still pretty good, but Nami has better options. And then other than that, you just want the speed buff on like Karma, Soraka, Yumi.
I'll tell you who it's good on though. Here's your Lee Sin W Max build in ARAM. Firelight has told you to play it on Rift, but I won't go that far. But yeah,
I'll play it on Rift right now.
Max W, Moonstone Renewer into Redemption. Anything that gives you heal and shield power. It's actually an insane shield that you get. And it's on like no cooldown. They're gonna kill a Caitlyn here in just a second. The Ignite. Oh no, the barrier actually keeping him alive. MetaShift has pulled Duvranga into the Death Realm, and they're trying to kite this one out. They tear through the Mordekaiser eventually. Death Lotus with a re-engage. That's so much healing off that W, but it's just not quite enough. It's a big shutdown that goes to Cavo. Can ROTM find another kill? Duvranga's on the hunt, but I don't think he's going to be able to find a whole lot. Saint's down on the bottom side, and he'll be able to get a tower or two as a result of all of this.
Not the world's worst 1-for-1 for OME at this point, because you get the shutdown onto Death Lotus specifically, who went deathless up until that point. You do lose a tower, but you know, you'll take the gold infusion at this point, honestly.
Yeah, that's a huge amount of gold. Unfortunately, onto the Jarvan, but he's not Scrams, and he's gone for the it is Black Cleaver. All right. No longer the Black Cleaver. They got rid of the article for some reason. Now it's just the regular Black Cleaver.
Wait, that makes me upset. Why can't it be the Black Cleaver?
It just isn't.
I don't like that.
It's just Black Cleaver. A Black Cleaver.
Give it back. Also, why Black Cleaver? I'll do you one better.
How Black Cleaver? Poofin was DCing and is now dead. That's a little unfortunate, but Scrams and Death Lotus will pick that one up, and that should maybe be the Baron trigger. They have to be careful though, because Death Realm is a thing for MetaShift. He's still very strong. He's now 5-4, so it's equalized a little bit, but he's got 2 items. He's not really somebody to be trifled with, but is also just in the top lane, being seen on minions right now. 5,000 health. Kavo is hanging around. They'll get the Abscond and Abduct onto him. They'll get a lot of CC. Kavo wasn't quite able to get over the wall. They'll finish that one off, and the Baron goes their way. Scrams is taken very low as Sentinel, able to engage. They'll try to save Private Scrams, and they do as Duranga gets the kill. And now Death Lotus has the re-engage available with the Malphite ult. MetaShift is rocking out, and now going to take Matsuro into the Death Realm. Punishment for being a support is sometimes you just get taken and killed in the Death Realm, I guess. Yeah, there's not much more to say about the game. RTM going to be able to finish this one up now with the Baron wave coming into mid lane. They'll take down the inhibitor, and they'll take home the conclusion of their OME Infinity Gauntlet, and they'll take down OME Ascension 2-0.
Yeah, really clean second follow-up game for Return to the Middlesticks. Arguably even cleaner than the first one. Yeah, standout performances from actually basically everybody. I don't feel like picking between the three particularly standout score lines there.
Yeah, I'll say Saint had a little bit of a rougher game, but they were able to overcome that one and pick up the W in the end. And this time Saint did get his Flame Horizon, so congrats there. Yeah, that's a big win. That's 4-1 now for Return to the Middlesticks. Let's take just a quick peek ahead, if I can pull it up quickly. And we'll see who they're playing next week really quick. The Neon schedule. So next week they've got Rivals. Just Rivals. They're 5-1. Should be a good game. Yeah, top of the table clash for Rodham Harvest and Rivals, and we'll see you here next week. I don't have a time set yet, but you'll know. Thanks again to Oath for joining me tonight. Always appreciate having you on, and we'll see you guys soon. Do we have someone to raid?
Huh?
Oh, MetaShift is gone. Go MetaShift. There you go. Go watch MetaShift. They've got a Xenon League game. I don't know either of these teams, but yeah, go watch this. Bye!